Sport, one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerge from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the Washington football team. Here's Cairo Santos now ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach. And let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. Hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
They'll contain him to just 4, 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 43. Here's Gibson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. He'll drop to throw. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It's called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in there, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interceptions. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Bears are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football, but at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at the 40. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll drop to throw. That's complete to Disley, the tight end.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage, because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Another good throw there in what has been a strong rookie season to this point, Charles, as he now has surpassed the 3,000-yard mark with that last completion.
And just think, he's been forced to learn on the job here in his first year. Normally, veterans talk about, hey, I've got the answers to the test before the game even begins. But this guy's taking the test with every throw, with every game. And so far, he's passing with flying colors.
Nifty move. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in 3rd in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
On 2nd down, it's Montgomery, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
A 2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keon Crossen. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Bears are going to get it back here just past the 35. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the ball ends up out of bounds, so it'll be a loss on the play. Well, obviously, you never want to fumble, but if you do, good to be towards the sideline. It saves them the possession.
Saves the embarrassment, saves it going down on the play sheet as a turnover. But I still think it should go to the defense, even if they don't recover it. If you give up the football, you gave up the football.
Agree to disagree, I guess.
Can you tell what I played?
Yeah, you played defense. Yeah. I'll let you go.
I took a shot.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Better ball security, but not much else to show for it. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit, or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They're set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They're going to look to throw. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he's got room. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Yeah, boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. The 20. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. A handoff for Gibson. That's some strong running. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's out to the flat for Gibson. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But early,
nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and this is picked up by the Bears. Escaping a tackler at the 25, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. He'll look to throw. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. The Bears on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll set up to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there. And they
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. He's at the 50, 30, 10. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. How about that for a momentum swing? You had a goal to go. Not only do you cough it up, but they pick it up and return it all the way for a touchdown.
And now you have to give oxygen to the entire team because what a letdown that was. Terrific drive. Looked like you're going to get points. Instead, the other team registers them on the scoreboard.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
At the 25-yard line.
Back to throw here. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Chase Young able to record his 5th sack of the season. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense, as they'll take over with just under a minute left to play until the break. He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Back to throw. $20 yards on both of those plays back-to-back there. They are moving now. It's another 1st down.
Brought down by Khalil Mack.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds.
That's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort. But instead, he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
They'll run for it with Montgomery. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They try again with Montgomery. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery as the first half is winding down. And the Bears would extend their lead here just before halftime. Santos with the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they'll take over with just 16 ticks remaining before intermission. Got a man, it's De'Ami Brown, complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Washington. We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there. This time, the extra point up and good. And this is back to an 8-point game.
Washington 13.
Four seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll set up a throw. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And that's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And this will be caught by Mooney. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. And this one is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Now back to throw. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On first down, it's Gibson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Second and 12. Here's a give to Gibson.
Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. Yeah.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown.
Well, it certainly looked to me like he tapped into the quarterback's thought process there. And what I'm hearing more and more when I go around the league, defenders sitting in on quarterback meetings trying to learn more about how they think so they can be in the right position to be in the right spot, as he was there to pick that one off and take it all the way back for a touchdown.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. After the pick-6, they go right back to the air. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Once more, Gibson. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run here with Gibson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll switch it up here and look to under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Micah Kiser picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football, not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw here. That's complete to Mooney. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Montgomery. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
First carry for James Conner. And taking it to the 15-yard line before it's brought down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And the Bears are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Come on, QB, come on. Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get it.
Montgomery. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. A 15-point game now. You make the extra point, and that means on the other side you need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. That's a pretty tall order here in the fourth quarter.
Agreed, because they really needed to come up with a stop there, and even if it was just to hold them to a field goal. Now they need to pull out the lucky horseshoe because they've got to get an onside kick, and we've seen nowadays those are incredibly difficult to come by.
And not to mention they've got to get the touchdown and a 2-point conversion first.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line to the end zone for a touchback.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score,
the ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Second time he's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities? Fortunate that one went out of bounds, saved him from a turnover.
He'll drop to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
On first down, it's Montgomery. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
2nd and 10. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 8. Montgomery on the counter. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Jerry Hughes in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Got a man. It's Gibson, complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a third and short yardage call. Through the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out third and long.
– 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. He's going to let it fly. And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Here's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Gets this to Gibson. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And they take a knee. And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, That tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Bears, the final 3 weeks are going to tell the story as they move to 9-5 on the year.
And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys.
Meanwhile, for Washington,
they fall to 8-6 with the loss. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans.